Hi guys, it's Sunday, and it's not just any Sunday. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, and I hope wherever you are, you have some kind of fun plans today. I will admit that we probably aren't super big into the Super Bowl this year just because the Denver Broncos aren't in it. But we've started talking with the kids, and we thought it would be fun to take down our family votes and see which team we're going to choose to root for the Super Bowl. And I know this year it is the LA Rams or the New England Patriots. And then I have a really fun recipe that I've made. It is my salsa recipe. So this is all our pre-game fun that's going on here at Camp David before the game starts this afternoon.
So I'm deciding I'm not going to go with the Patriots. I'm going to go with the Rams because I think the Patriots have won too much. I think the Rams need a chance to win. Some of my favorite players on the Rams team and Patriots. On the Patriots team is Gronkowski, Tom Brady. On the Rams team, I really like Ndamukong Suh. I like Ndamukong Suh because he is like their main player that they can trust to sack Tom Brady. And he used to be a Cornhusker, which I love the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
I'm rooting for the Rams because I don't know, I like rooting for the Rams, and didn't the Patriots go last year?
So you're a big football fan, huh?
No. I'm not a really big Super Bowl fan or football fan in general. The Super Bowl isn't a big deal to me, except if we have hot wings and pizza and salsa and chips.
So I really want the Rams or the Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year.
Sorry, it's funny.
That's what I'm pulling for. Because I like both teams. I think Brady is Brady is like one of the best quarterbacks ever, probably the best quarterback ever, and this will really solidify that if he wins. But Ndamukong Suh is a former Husker, and he's on the Rams, and I'd love to see him win his first Super Bowl. And then Rex Burkhead is playing in the Super Bowl too, and I think he plays for the Patriots. So, and then you got Gronkowski, who's awesome, and there's a lot of great players on both teams, so it'll just be a great game, and I'll honestly be happy either way. I feel a little bit bad for the Saints because I do think they got robbed, and it would have been fun to see them in it again, but it is what it is. Refs are refs. They can do whatever they want, and you can't go back and reverse the game, so.
I am cheering for the Rams to win just because I think it's great for somebody else to have a turn at the Super Bowl. And also, Ndamukong Suh is on the Rams, and I'm very supportive of my husband. I, of course, have learned to become a Nebraska Cornhusker football fan. I've followed him throughout his career, and so it's exciting to see him playing in his first Super Bowl. So that is why I'm choosing the Rams today, and I will be rooting them on, hoping that they win. For our Super Bowl menu today, we have chosen a couple of our favorite items. We're gonna have our nachos. We have another video that I posted a while ago about how we do nachos on certain nights when we have friends over, or if we're just doing a movie night with the kids. So I'll have a link to that video in the description below. The other thing that we are going to be making today is my homemade salsa. This is a recipe that I've done for quite a few years. We have it at a lot of the parties that we have here. It's also just a great recipe to have over the weekend, or sometimes I'll make it for our taco night. The recipe for my homemade salsa will be in the description below as well. Finally, we can't skip dessert, and the dessert that I chose today is actually a brand new recipe. The recipe comes from 2 Peas in their pod. I follow them on Instagram and on Facebook. I am a baker, and I'm always watching other bakers, and I found this chocolate chip cookie bar recipe, and I thought it would be fun to try. And it's actually got a small twist. It has sea salt sprinkled on top of it. So we have a mixture of sweet and salty. And I am a person that I love the 2 flavors combined. I love sweet and salty combined. If you were to ask me what I prefer sweets over salty any day.
I like sweet because it tastes better than salty. I also like them combined. Combined is amazing.
I like sweet and salty food actually, because sometimes if you have a little too much of the other one, then you want, say if you have too much of salty, you want sweet. So I'm really salty and sweet fan. I like both.
I am definitely more of a salty foods person than a sweet food person. I can skip dessert with no problem at all. I don't mind missing out on sweets. So for me, salty all the way. Love savory food.
So the first thing we're going to do is my homemade salsa recipe. It's really simple, goes together really quick, and the longer it sits in the fridge, the better it gets. For my homemade salsa recipe, the basic ingredients that you need are going to be fresh cilantro, canned fire roasted diced tomatoes, jalapeños, white onions, green onions, mineral salt, and garlic. When I make my homemade salsa recipe, I use 2 different mixers, and this is just how I've always done it. You can totally just do it in one food processor. I'm picky and I'm strange, and this is just a quirk. The first thing I'll do is take some fresh cilantro and then add our green onions, and today I doubled the recipe. After I add the green onions, I do use 2 jalapeños, but on the jalapeños, because our family likes a little bit more spice, what I do is I chop the jalapeños, and if I'm using 2, I will usually leave 1 seeded, which this is seeded. I leave the seeds in, and that can add more heat to it. On the other jalapeno, I would seed it. And if you want really high heat, don't take the seeds out of the jalapeno at all. So we add some of our jalapenos to this, and then our diced white onions. What you want to do is get these completely diced up. This is a hand chopper, and I absolutely love it. My husband got it for me quite a while ago, and it's something that I just love to take out. It's really quick to get out, and it's great for small jobs, but I've always used it for my salsa. I'll put a link to this in the description below if you're interested in it. Once everything is chopped, looks pretty well chopped and combined, we're gonna add it to our large food processor. Now that we've added all of our diced cilantro and onions and jalapenos, the next thing I do is I'm gonna add 2 cans of fire roasted diced tomatoes. And then we add some minced garlic. I usually put in about 1.5 tablespoons. And then I add mineral salt. 1/2 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon. It's really to your taste. And once we're done, we blend it all up. All right guys, we have our homemade salsa all done. It's gonna chill in the fridge until we're ready to enjoy it. I'm ready to try our new recipe today that I found at 2 Peas and Their Pod. And I will have the link to this recipe in the description below. It's the chocolate chip cookie bars. So the first thing that we have to do is go ahead and combine the melted butter and the brown sugar and white sugar. Once those are all mixed, we're gonna add our eggs. And in the recipe I read, guys, it's 1 large egg and 1 large egg yolk. And our vanilla. After all the egg yolk and vanilla is mixed in with the sugar and melted butter, we go ahead and we start adding our dry ingredients, which is the flour, baking soda, and salt. All right, once that is all mixed, we're going to stir in our chocolate chips. And it says to stir in the chocolate chips. I do this also with my chocolate chip cookie recipe. The reason why you want to stir the chocolate chips in is so the mixer will actually break up the chocolate chips into smaller pieces. And the last thing we do is we pack it into our baking sheet. And the last step is to put it in a 325-degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. This is our pre-game Super Bowl prep, and we are all ready for the game. We hope you've enjoyed this video and hearing who we're rooting for. We have a great surprise for you today. We are going to be posting a second video later today for you, and it's going to be our reactions throughout the game, commenting on what our favorite commercial was, and just following up post-game. So we would love to see your comments below of who you're rooting for, if you prefer sweet or salty or both, and when we follow up on our second video, we'll read through some of your comments as well as show you our reactions to some of the plays throughout the game and the halftime show and our favorite commercial. We look forward to watching the game together as a family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.